The Stock Movers Report, your roundup of companies making moves in the stock market, harnessing the power of Bloomberg data.
Let's take a look at some stocks on the move today. I'm Nathan Hager, joined by Bloomberg's Kriti Gupta. Winding down earnings season, a lot of stocks moving off the back of earnings. Kriti, good morning.
Good morning, Nathan. We'll start off with the biggest one to the upside. Autodesk is wowing Wall Street in a very big way this morning. ADSK is your ticker, trading at about $317 a share, higher by a whopping 10%. This is a massive move from a company that definitely doesn't move by this kind of margin as much. They're coming out on a very strong earnings report, raising their guidance. Wall Street calling it one of the best beats in years. At least that's the take out of Citi when it comes to their revenue and billing. So quite the stamp of approval. We should also mention that they're getting a massive wave of price target upgrades across price target boosts, I should say is the better word, across Wall Street. So for example, let me just name a couple of banks that have upped that price target. Wells Fargo, UBS, Stifel, Piper Sandler, KeyBank. That's just 5 banks who off the back of these earnings reports have boosted the share price or their expected price target anyway. So you can see just how big of a deal this is. Autodesk, ADSK, higher by almost 10% in the pre-market. So that's your best mover to the upside. Let's talk about your biggest movers to the downside. Dell is not wowing investors. DELL. Seeing quite a bit of volume. The old guard of the tech trade, trading about $125 a share this morning, down about 6.4%. Now for Dell, these numbers are a little bit of a double whammy. And let me just kind of explain this one, because on the one hand, they're talking about an AI server backlog that's dropping. So not such a great number there in terms of their earnings, even though I should mention they beat their estimates. They raised their revenue forecast, but the backlog seemed to come down a little bit. They're also talking about a margin miss. So we're seeing a little bit of margin compression on these numbers. You're looking at some of the analyst commentary. They're saying there was a lot of sensitivity to that backlog miss. There's concern about some sort of client attrition there. So DELL is one of your downside movers this morning. It is also next to Caterpillar, which is down this morning as well. This is, of course, the global construction equipment bellwether, trading lower by about 3%. CAT trading at $421 a share. This is a tariff story through and through, Nathan.
Yeah.
Down about $1.8 billion, at least on terms of the tariff headwind when it comes to their margin. That is bigger than expected and bigger than they had forecasted. So Wall Street really punishing the stock this morning. Like I said, down about 3%. CAT is your ticker. I'm going to throw in one last one because I'm a dog lover. And if you're not, cover your ears. Petco is the company you want to keep an eye on this morning. WOOF is your ticker. Shares higher. Third quarter guidance beat, a brighter 2026 outlook. It looks like 2026 is the good year for the dogs, at least according to this earnings report. This is a stock that's trading just shy of $4 a share, which might explain why the move is so big. Trading higher by almost 18% this morning. WOOF. Woof, Nathan.
The Stock Movers Report from Bloomberg Radio. Check back with us throughout the day for the latest roundup of companies making news on Wall Street. And for the latest market-moving headlines, listen to Bloomberg Radio live. Catch us on YouTube, Bloomberg.com, and on Apple CarPlay and Android Auto with the Bloomberg Business app.